Hi guys, and welcome back to another Minecraft tutorial. Today we're going to be learning how to build the Airbus A380, this absolute monster of a commercial plane, of a jet airliner. It is absolutely huge. This is a 1-to-1 scale building of it as well, and it is a big plane, so this is going to take quite a while as I go through the tutorial, and also for you guys to obviously build. I've even got the kind of curved wings as well. I've tried to get those and incorporate those as nice as possible, and I think I've done a pretty good job in general on those. I think they look pretty good, especially from the top. They look properly like the wings, and they still have that nice kind of curve at the back as well. So on the interior, I might as well just show you guys just how much room you've got. I mean, it is a double-decker plane basically, so we just go into here. You've got this massive kind of empty space. I haven't started on an interior on this one yet. I'm kind of pushing this tutorial out and this build out before actually doing the interior. I haven't got around to it because I think you guys will kind of already know what to actually do in the interior anyway. If I just grab some stuff, what I'll do is if I just grab, for example, these seats, what I usually do anyway is I just put them on these parts here, so you can have a central aisle. Or with this one, what you can do is probably cut out those. No, maybe not that. So you'll probably want to go with a central aisle on this one. So of course you can always go with 2 aisles going down. It's really up to you what you kind of do with this one. But you got those 2 floors. Unfortunately, because of the actual size of this one, usually you have 4 blocks to work with, so you can have one as a kind of roof with the lights. With this one, you don't. But what you can do, and this is a kind of sneaky thing to actually do, is again, actually I need to grab some seats. If you do go, for example, with having just a central aisle, then you can use, for example, if we just go with this, and if we have, so that's the central aisle, we'll have a block here of lighting. Now if we go to the upper floor, what you can actually do later on is actually put your seats directly over it, so they're actually hiding the lighting, so that's one way to get around it. Lighting wise, unfortunately with this top one, there's not really much you can do unless you put, for example, a layer of slabs going across the top. You could do that quite easily. So the upper layer you can't really do, but there is an idea for the lighting on the bottom layer. I'll probably go for it again at the end, as I probably forgot that I did it in this beginning bit. So yeah, it's going to be a long tutorial. It's going to be a big tutorial. It's one of my biggest planes. I've got the Antonov as well, which is even bigger than this. But I kind of want to see how big this one goes and how long it takes me first. So I'm just going to fly over the tutorial area now while kind of talking to you guys about what you can expect. So this is going to be a layer by layer tutorial. I haven't actually got the numbers written down on this at the minute. I'm actually going to have to do that in a second. But basically what this means is I'm going to be splitting it up layer by layer. So you can see that it starts off with all of these kind of wheels and things like that, and then it moves up. I'll just keep on moving on layer by layer, just laying on top of the last one. What this enables me to do is it makes it a lot easier for me to actually do the tutorial, as I can just fly over to the relevant area, grab it, tutorial it, and then go to the next one. But what it does for you guys, so example, that's layer number 1 there, and they've got 2 and 3. If you guys decide you want to break on layer number 2, I'll clearly say on layer number 3 that's when you're starting. So I'll literally go, and now for layer number 3, and I'll start doing that one. So it makes it quite easy for you guys to skip through the video, find where you left off, and start again, so you can take a kind of break whenever you need to, or do it over days or whatever like that. So it makes it a lot easier for you guys as well. So if you do use this build on a map or a server or anything in general, make sure that you credit me for the actual design. By this I actually mean just put up a sign saying designed by Lord Dakr and then built by yourself. The reason I want this is because I spend a lot of time making these tutorials, splitting up them to make them easy, and it takes hours out of my day. YouTube does not pay that much at all, and I mean it really doesn't. If you ask anyone that's actually a YouTuber, you'll know that you just don't really get that much money for it. All I kind of want from you guys is the respect gained, and the way that you can show that is just by putting up a sign saying designed by Lord Dakr, and that's it. And it'll help the channel grow, and if the channel grows, you guys are going to keep on getting more and more tutorials. So in a sense, it kind of helps you guys out as much as it helps me out, and it also, it's kind of like a thumbs up to me as well. It says, you know, thanks for doing this. So that's why I kind of want you guys to credit me, but make sure you credit yourself as well. This is a long tutorial. It's going to take you a while. Also, this is an advanced tutorial. It is going to take you quite a while to get through. There is going to be incredibly difficult parts of these wings. As I'm just flying over, I already know it's going to be a nightmare for me to actually figure out a way of writing those down so I can actually remember how to actually go about them. So make sure that you do just have patience with this one. If you get stuck, just watch that layer back again. Watch it back without trying to do the actual tutorial part of it. Just make sure you watch it and maybe even just count the blocks. So if I'm going too fast, for example, and you think I'm going too fast, I actually have to go too fast because it cuts down on the video length time, because I have a lot of fast kind of builders that like it like that. So just make sure that you kind of actually count them and kind of listen to what I'm saying and then go over it. Sometimes it does take you multiple times on layers. I've gone through tutorials for myself where I've actually had to kind of go through it a couple of times. So just be patient and see what happens. If you do really get stuck, give me a shout. I won't be able to jump on your server though. I do get about 15 to 20 requests a week to jump on servers, and to be fair, I have to say no. So I won't be able to jump on the server and help you actually build it yourself. You'll have to kind of do it yourself, but any help that I can actually give you, I am more than willing to kind of comment back to you guys and try and help as much as I can. So if you guys are on the console versions of this, I'm actually using the quartz slabs and the quartz stairs. You guys are going to be getting an update soon, if not already, for these kind of blocks. But if you are kind of wanting to build it beforehand, you can either do the whole thing out of sandstone and make it a yellowish kind of colour, or you can just switch these out for stone slabs, both for the stairs and the slabs, until you get that. And then you can switch them back when you actually get the update. So the main build materials you're going to need are black wool, buttons, nether brick fence, wool, quartz slab, quartz stair, glass. You're also going to need, go and grab them, there you go, iron bars and glowstone. If you're building this one in the air, I still recommend putting down that first layer of the actual wheels, just because I'll use this as a placeholder. It'll be a nice kind of counting block for everything to go back. I usually put the wheels down. I'll probably start with this wheel right in front here to actually count the rest of the plane from. So I still recommend doing that, but enough of this. Let's get started on this massive tutorial. Another thing I actually forgot to mention before we do get started, I do get a lot of requests for things called livery, which is the actual colour, for example, British Airways. The reason I've done it in plain white is because I get so many requests for all these different ones that this tutorial length would actually be infinitely long if I did all the different kind of colour schemes as well. What I kind of do with this tutorial is I'm going to be giving you a blank canvas so you can actually fill it in with your own ones. I actually had another one for, I think it was the Philippines airline as well, requests, so you can imagine every single country having its own kind of colour, and then in those countries having the actual companies inside those as well. It just makes it almost impossible to actually do a tutorial, so it's kind of up to you. So don't ask me about how to do it in certain British Airways or Ryanair or Flybe or whatever, any of those ones, because I'll just have to say no, just because it would be infinitely long, and if I do one, you guys will ask for more. So that's why I've just got it in this blank canvas. So let's really get started now. Let's do this. Okay, just before we start again, there is another thing that I've actually forgotten to mention, which is the size of the plane. So it is 25 blocks high in total, 73 long, which is pretty massive, and it is a total of 79 wide, which is huge. So it's got a massive wingspan. It is, you know, pretty close to being like 100 by 100, so it is an absolutely massive plane, which is why I'm trying to make sure I'm really far back for this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come this way as well, so the wings, even if they are too close, won't touch. So the first thing we're going to do for layer number one is just place down a piece of black wool, then leave a gap, then place a black wool. Have nether brick fence, join these together, and then just put a button on. Just these for the wheels. What we're now going to do is we're going to count back 31. I'm going to use slabs to show you exactly what I mean. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, like that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to have 6 wheels. So what we're going to do is we're just going to place a black piece of wool on the side here, then leave a gap, then have another piece of black wool, and also on the back as well. So this kind of slab goes right to the middle of these parts. So we're going to have those wheels there. Then on this part we're going to leave a block and also have them here. So we've got these 12 kind of massive wheels right at the back. I'm just going to get rid of these here, like that. Then if we grab our nether brick fence, I'm just going to join these together like this, just like that. And that's how we get the kind of back wheels like that. And then just put your buttons on the outside. You could put one on the inside, but because you can't put it on the other side, there's not really that much point. So I just do it like this. I think another way that you could actually do the wheels as well is probably by using item frames. If you think that this looks better, possibly. I don't. I prefer just the simple button. But there's another idea for you guys if you wanted to kind of use that. And there's a couple more wheels that we actually need to place, surprisingly, if we haven't actually got enough ourselves. So what I need to do is just off this wheel here, so this is the front of the plane, I'm just going to count over 2, and then we're going to go to here, and then we're going to have a 4. So this is just another 4 sets of wheels like that. So you're just going to basically be a gap in between, also gets moved. And then yet again with this, what we're going to do is just connect them up like that, and grab your buttons, put your buttons on the outside, and then we'll do it the same on the other side as well. So we can look at it from this way, 2, you've got your 4 kind of box here, put in your fence, just do that properly, and then your buttons as well, just like that. I'm going to get rid of this, and then we're on to layer number 2. Okay, and now layer number 2, what we're going to do is if we just go to the front, we're just going to extend this up a couple. So we're actually doing, for this front part, we're doing up to layer number 3. We're just going to add 2 extra kind of fences, and then one's going backwards. This is just because it'll make it easier for when we actually do the next kind of layer, layer number 3. And then on these back parts, we're just going to go back up on these 2 here. So this will connect into the bottom of the actual plane. And then for these layers of 6, right in the middle, and then the one kind of next to it, on the back kind of part, if that makes any sense at all. Okay, so we're now on to layer number 3. So if we come to this front part where we added this extra bit here, just on the same level as this, we're going to have a 4 gap. I'm going to use glowstone just to show you what I mean. 1, 2, 3, and now 4. Now what we're going to do is we're going to have 9 blocks of white walls. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now get rid of these. They were just to hold the actual and count how many blocks there were. Now what we're going to do is, I'm going to be doing it on one side, and then you guys can copy it onto the other. So we're going to have 2, like this, and then what you guys are going to do is, you're going to do it on the same side on this part, like that. So you're just going to mirror exactly what I'm doing here on the other side. I'll just show you how to do it on one side. It will cut the tutorial length down a lot, and since it's the same on the other side anyway, it won't affect kind of what you guys are doing. So now what we're going to do is we're going to have a 1, now we're going to have a 7, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now you're going to have a 1, so that's a weird way of doing the 1 because it got stuck on here. And now 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to come inwards, and we're going to have 1. We come inwards again, you're going to have 7, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. You have a 2, and a 2, and then one more set of 2. So what you guys are going to do is do the same on the other side. So you'll just be doing literally this, and just mirroring exactly the same on this bit. If you're not too sure on the actual how many blocks to count, just watch back the other side video. So I'm just going to go through this now. Then once you've got the actual outline, what you're going to do is just pretty much just fill it in. So just fill in this section. There is some slabs we need to do. The engines are actually, some of them are actually on this level. We're just going to do it when we've got the wings done, I think. That's going to be the easiest way to do them. Otherwise you have to count up back a weird amount of blocks from weird blocks, so it doesn't really make any sense. So just fill this in and we'll put on the slabs, and then we're done with the layer. Okay, now for the slabs on the front part. So we'll just start on the front. You're going to leave 2 of these blocks, and you go to the next one, and you should have 7 slabs. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now on this one, you're going to leave this block, go to the next one, just have a slab here, have a slab here. Then you're going to leave this 1, and you're going to have 6. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, which should just fit right in there. Then right here, you're going to have 1, then 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then I'm sure you've got a 1 here, and then 2 here. There is some on the back, which I'm just going to have a look at now, so I'm going to copy this onto the other side while I'm here as well. And now for the back bit, which is super easy, just in each of these kind of corner pieces, just going to put a slab, and that's it, right, one on the end as well. And that is it. So you can already see the actual base of the plane is pretty massive. Part of these are kind of underneath the wings anyway, just to kind of give it support. But you can already see the actual size starting to get bigger. So let's get on to number 4. Okay, so now we're on to layer number 4. So what we're going to do is we're just going to come to the front, and right on top of this one here, we're going to place down a block. Now you're going to add 3 blocks. So you're going to go 1, 2, and 3. So kind of extended this by forwards by 3. This actually goes across by 3. So what we can do is just add an extra block to each side like this, and also add an extra block onto each back parts like this. So you got this 2x3 kind of box on the front. Now if we go back to the side I was actually teaching on, what we're going to do is we are going to have a 16. So you're going to go kind of out, so it'll be 5 wide now, and you're going to have 16 going back. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Now what we're going to do is going to have a 3, so you've got 1, 2, 3. Now you've got a 1, right there, 1. And now what you're going to do is you're going to have 4 sets of 2, so you've got 2, 2, 2, and 2. So 4 sets of 2. So you've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. Just like that. Now what you're going to do is you have a 3, so you've got 1, 2, 3. Now a 2. And now a 1. And then a 2. Like that. So if you do the same on the other side, and you can just literally connect this up at the back and fill in all of this part, as it's actually got a raised floor. I'll kind of show you what I mean actually if I fly over to it, which we're quite far away unfortunately. Come on, we can get there. So you've kind of got this like smaller bottom part here. That's the bit that we did first. Now the next bit is quite a bit out. Also obviously building the actual wings here. So I just punch my way through this. There is actually this whole kind of floor. I just filled it in solid. You could actually go down onto it, but you'll have less space because you'll have to miss out these bits. So you only have, there you go, in this, especially in this front part, you only have 3 blocks to play with, which isn't that much compared to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then later 7. So I advise just filling up that floor kind of bit. I'll show you some ideas at the end of what you can actually do when you've actually, because you've got that extra floor bit. So we just go across this part for the time being and then connect it up with that bit. We'll then do the back. The only reason is because we're starting to do the underneath the wings and it starts to get really weird and complicated. So just do the same on the other side, fill in this kind of space. Okay, now to finish off the back of this kind of layer. So what we're going to do is we're just going to basically be cutting out this kind of back bit and then continue on the plane. So we're just going to leave 2 of these. Now what we're going to do is going to leave 2 of these. I'm just going to cut out here. And then we might as well just cut this layer all the way back, unfortunately. Just leaving 2 of those. So we've got 2 there. We're going to have a 1, so then we've got a 1 block there, and we can cut this back again. We'll be filling in some of this anyway, but this is the only kind of way I could figure out how to actually write it down in a kind of sensible way, as I have to keep on flying over there. Next we're going to have 3, so we've got these 3 left. Then again we'll cut away just a little bit this time, because we don't really have to go all the way. If it kind of gets into this part, it doesn't really matter, to be honest. So we got that 3 there. Then we're going to have a 1. And then also another 1 like that. So we got 1, 1. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go this way, and we got 4. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4. So what I'll do is I'll actually going to do this on the other side as well. So 1, 1. And I think it's that, isn't it? No, that's not it. I'm trying to figure this out for myself. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. I'm just going to connect this up together, and I'll show you what I mean. I'll go through it yet again because it is a little bit weird. So on this back part here, we've got a 2, we've got a 1, 3, 1, and then we've got this 1 here. Now this is where we switch directions. So this is where it goes back onto the normal bit of the plane going on the back. So now you've got 4, 2, 3, 4. Now you've got a 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Next is a 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now you've got a 2, and another 2. So if you just do the same on the other side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, place the blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then you've got this sets of 2 here. Fill this in, and then just like we did on the last layer, we've got a couple of slabs to kind of place on different parts of this build. So what I'll do is I'll again start with the front. There'll be bits going around the wing as well, and also around the back. So let's do it. Okay, and now for the slabs on layer number 4. If we come to the front, we're just going to have 3 slabs going right directly on that part there. We're going to have a 1. Now if we go all the way back to here, it'll be easier, but just on this kind of longest run, we're going to have 13 slabs. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So you should have 3 being seen here. And then for the wing bit, what we're going to do is we're just going to have 1 in here, and then the rest are just going on the outside of those blocks there. So it's pretty easy. And when we come to the back, just leave all these ones. I'll just find out what we're doing on this back part here. Okay, now what we're going to do is just on this gap here, we've got this slab right there. We're just going to place another slab directly on top of it there. Next one here, we've just got 1 slab. And then the next one along, we've got 3. So you got 1, 2, 3. That's because there's going to be a door on that part. And right at the back you just got a slab just in these kind of corner pieces, just like we did before. And then you can do the same on the other side, and we'll get on to layer number 5. And now for layer number 5, what we're going to do is we come to the front, and we're going to come forwards, and we're going to have 3 blocks coming across this front part like this. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go back this way, and we're going to have 3, so you get 1, 2, 3. We're going to have another 3, 1, 2, and 3 like that. Now what we need to do is we need to actually grab something for a door. So I'm just going to grab wooden door. Usually I use the iron doors on them, but I'm just use wooden doors for the time being. Then we have 12 blocks behind this, so you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now I'm going to go out, we're going to have 13, so you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And then this is where we're going to have another door, right here. Now we're going to have 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and this is where we've got another door, just like that. And now behind this one we're going to have 1, and then we're going to go to here, and we're going to have 4, so you get 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then we've got another door, just like that. Now 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Another 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a 3, 1, 2, 3, and a 2. Just like that. So when you've got it on the other side, you have that, and then just put a block in there. What we're actually going to be doing now is, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to build up a little bit more of the actual main body, and then we'll just do the wings in one chunk. Now that we've got the kind of basic part, because there is a bit that actually connects in on this layer. It's kind of a bit of a nightmare for me to count it going back this way. So what I might do is I'm going to probably actually complete the entire kind of main body of the plane, because it's the most easiest, even though it's the biggest chunk of it. And then we'll go on to the wings to finish up with the engines. So if you just do the same on the other side, we'll get our slabs, shove those on, and we will get on to the next layer after that. And then to finish off layer number 5, we're just going to put the slabs as stairs on. So come to the front and put 3 upside down stairs, just like this. So you have a slab here. On this run, you're going to have 7 stairs. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I didn't mean stairs, I meant slabs. Sorry about that. What we can actually do as well, I just noticed down here, we probably add 2 slabs to this part, just to make it look a little bit smoother. So there's an extra edit to it. So you can do the same on the other side, and I'll find out what we're doing on the back. And then for the slabs on the back of the plane, right next to this door here, we can have 1. Next one, we're going to have 3, so you got 1, 2, 3. Next is 2, so you got 1, 2, and then you got 1, 1. Let's do the same on the other side, and we'll get on to the next layer. Okay, so for layer number 6, what we need to do is we need to have 3 stairs just on this front part like this. Then we're going to have 2. And then the next one is going to be 5, so you get 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which will take you right next to this door. We got 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and now what you're going to do is you're going to go out, and this one just goes basically on top, just like this, till you hit into the door, and also there's 5 going across just like this. Now we're going to have a 3, so you got 1, 2, and 3, 2 just here, just right next to this door, and now we're going to have a 9 behind this door, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, so 1 more than that slab, then a 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, a 2, and a 2. So do the same on the other side, and we will put on the slabs and then put in the windows, because we're on that kind of layer now, so let's do it. Okay, now for slabs, all we need to do is just put one here, 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 and here. So there's just 4 slabs really, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we've already done this one, so you got 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Now if we grab our blocks of glass, we're just going to put in the windows. So you're just going to, from this back door here, we're just going to have 4. So you got lever block, then put one in, so you got 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's pretty much the pattern that goes all the way through this plane. So all you need to do is just go every other one like this, and it will work its way out perfectly until you get to the front door. So if we just quickly go through these like this, so just put in the windows, and there, and then there, and then there. So that's all you need to do, just bring all the windows up to there. Do the same on the other side as well, window-wise, and we will get on to the next layer. Okay, and now for layer number 7. So if we come to the front, we're just going to come in by 1 block. So this is when the nose starts to kind of come back in again. So we've just got these 3 going across the front like this. Now we're going to have a 2. And now we've got an 8, so you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now we're just going to go out. This is going to be directly on top of the last layer, and we'll actually add a couple of blocks when we get directly on top. So it's just going to cover up these windows and cover up these doors. So when we're directly on top of this block, right here, we're just going to add 6 blocks. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Next level, next one is 8, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. One over from that slab there, then you got 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now you got 3, 1, 2, 3, and then a 2. Just like that. So again, what you're going to need to do on this part is just add an extra block here. Just do the same on the other side, and we'll put on the slabs. Okay, and for this plane, there's only slabs right on the back. So just on this long part here, we're just going to add one slab here. This one doesn't have a slab, so we're not going to put one there. But the rest do. So you got 1, 2, and then 3, just in those kind of gaps right at the back. So not one on that one, but on this longest run here, you do. So now what we'll do is we'll get on to layer number 8. Okay, so now we're on to layer number 8. So we're actually going to be building the cockpit, which is quite cool. So if you just come to the front, and we're actually going to be going in one block. So what I usually do is I put down a couple of blocks to actually lay down on top, underneath even. I just think it looks a little bit better. You can leave it in if you want to. It's really up to you. You don't really have that much underneath here anyway. So yeah, I'm just going to put those back in there. Then on the side you can have 2 pieces of glass right here like that. And now we're back onto the normal blocks. So what you're going to do is you're going to have 8, so you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, which is going to go in by one block here. Now just going to have a block on this one. This is going to go directly on top of the last layer again. So let's keep on bringing it back. Just like this. So until you're on top of this slab here, then all you're going to do is just add one block. Now you're going to have a 7, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, which is over by 1. Another 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, over by 1, and yet again. Now a 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then a 1, just like that. So do the same on the other side, and we'll put in the slabs, and we'll get on to the next layer. Another thing you can do on this is actually where I put in my floor, so you could, if you wanted to, put in your floor, and you can either use your full wall blocks like this, which gives you a height of 3, as I was saying earlier, or what you can do is use your slabs as well if you wanted to get 3.5, which makes the plane look massive actually if you did that. But you could do it with those kind of 3.5, and then when you put in your kind of baggage things, actually it'll look like you've got a massive amount of space, which is quite nice. So you can put in that floor there. I'm not going to. I'm just going to leave it for the time being, and I'll show you again at the end anyway where to put in things if you want to do the same. So complete on the other side, and we'll get put on the slabs, and then we'll get on to the next layer. Okay, so there's just a couple of slabs on this one, right at the back on this black back block here. There's going to be one, there's not going to be one here, and there's just going to be one on the next one across. So just there, like that. And now we are going to get onto layer number 9. Okay, so now we're on to layer number 9. So what we're going to do is we're going to come to the front and just come in and have 3 blocks going across like this. It's going to be one top of this one, it's going to go by 3, so you got 1, 2, and 3. Now what you're going to do is you're going to have 8 blocks here, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. This is where a door's going to be, so you might want to just put a block down here, just so you can put the door on, just like that. Now if we go back to our blocks again, you're just going to have 1 block just on the side here, then we're going to go out, just on top of here, and we've got 33 blocks, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. Just like that. What we're going to do is we're going to go in and have 3, so you got 1, 2, 3, just on this kind of back part here. Now we're going to have another door, so you can just shove your door directly on top of this layer, or the last layer, just like that. Now we're going to have 5, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which will be directly on top of this kind of layer here. And now a 9, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, which will just be 1 block over that last slab. Now 3, 1, 2, 3, and then a 2 right on the end. So do the same on the other side, and then what we're going to do is going to put on the slabs first, because there's a couple of slabs on this layer. And then we can actually do this kind of back side bit. I can't remember what they're called, but we can do that, so let's do this. Okay, and then for the slabs, if you come to the front, just put 3 slabs on the front here. 1 on this one and 1 on the gap here, so it's pretty kind of standard. Just covering up those pieces of glass there and also putting 1 in the edge. If we just come to right next to this door here, we're also going to put in slab, just like that. Now we'll do the back bits. And then just if we come to the back part, it's just here before this door, we've just got 1 slab on each of these parts. There's none at the back, because we're actually starting to get to the end where it kind of goes back in and then goes up on this part. So now we're going to build the kind of sideways part, and then what we're probably going to do is switch back to the wings,
finish those off so that we're done. But we're just going to finish off this kind of little back bit first, just these two bits here. Okay, and now we're going to do this kind of back wing part that goes out on the side. So if we come, just what we've got this door here, if we go to the next section here, we're just going to leave one block. We're just going to have a 1 right here, and I'm just going to do the outline of this entire shape and then fill it in. I'll go through it afterwards just in case you guys get stuck, because these cut bits can kind of be a bit tricky. We got a 1, and you have a 1, then a 2, which we're going to go across this way. You're then going to have a 2 going the other way. So we get this kind of weird shape like this. Now we're going to have a 1, and then a 2, which is going to go this way this time. And then a 1 and a 2 going across like this. And now you're going to have 4 going back. So you got 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now connected onto this one, going towards the actual plane. Counting that block, you're going to have 4. So you've already got 1 here. So you got 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now we're going to go on the inside part of here. And we're going to have a 1, 1, and a 1, which will make 3 sets of 1s going across here. And there's going to be a 5 going across. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then this one here will make it a 1. So I'm going to go over this quickly. What I'll do first is I'll actually get you, kind of let you have a good look at that. If you need to pause the screen now just to make sure that you get this actual shape, please feel free to do so, but you should have been able to get that bit. What I'm now going to do is just count it just in case you are still stuck. So we've got 1, 1, 2. Then you've got 2 going the other way, then a 1, 2 going across this way, then a 1, 2. We're then going to go to this kind of long part going back. So you got 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then going towards the actual plane and going kind of backwards a bit. This is going across by 4. So you got 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then you got a 1, 1, 1. Then a 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then this one, I guess you can count as 1. All you need to do then is basically copy this onto the other side. I actually advise copying it onto the other side before you fill it in, because it makes it a lot easier to see this shape rather than a kind of filled in one. But after you've done that, just basically fill in the blocks, and that's pretty much it. And after we've done that, what you can actually, we're going to start doing is the big, massive wings and the engines. Get that done. Then we can just basically cap off this plane and we are done. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to start on the wings. So to get started, what we're going to do is, well, we've got these 7 slabs. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Just before we get onto this kind of bottom bit here, what we're going to do is going to leave 1 block, then we're going to have 1. I'm just going to show you how to do an outline just like we did on these kind of back parts right here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to have a 1. So we've already got that there, so then we're going to have another 1. Now we're going to have a 2 going across like this, then another 1, 1, and then a 2 going across. Now what we're going to do is we're going to connect onto the back of this one, we're going to go and have a 2. So you get this kind of weird kind of L shape, I guess you could call it. But we just basically get one of those. Now we're going to have a 1, and then a 2, and now connected onto the back of this one going backwards, you got a 5, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now you're going to have a 1, and you're going to have another 5 going backwards, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now connected onto this one, we're going to just add an extra block, just going back. We're now going to make our way back. I will be going through this bit at the end as well, so don't worry if you are getting stuck, it is complicated. So we've got this 2 going here. Now we're going to go in towards this part here. We're going to have a 3. So you got 1, 2, and 3. Now you're going to have a 1. Now you're going to have a 2 going this way this time, if that makes sense. It is very difficult to teach this part, but now you're going to have a 1, 1, 1. So you just got these 3 diagonal 1s just like that. There are 2 going across that way. There are 2 that will connect in right to this part here. So I'm just going to kind of try and give you guys a clear shot of it from the air. It's really difficult to see, but if you need to pause the video now, you should be able to do it. You know, I've given you enough time. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go and talk you through each of these kind of block layers here. So I'm just going to throw away these kind of iron bars for the time being. So you're going to have 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. Now what we're going to do is connecting onto that block, you're going to have a 2, which will be kind of on level with this part here. Then you're going to go back to normal, so you got a 1. There are 2 going across, then connected onto this one you got a 5, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, then a 1, then a 5 going back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we now look at the back part, and we're going to work our way back in towards the actual plane, you've got a 2, then moving back by 1 block, you've got 3 going here, then a 1, then a 2 going the kind of other way, 3 sets of 1, so you got 1, 2, and 3, then you got a 2 going this way, and then a 2 which will connect in What I advise you doing now is copying it straight onto the other side. After you've done that, what you need to do is just fill it in with your white wool. So after you've done that, we'll get onto the next part of the wing where we're actually, first we're going to just put on the slabs after you've actually filled in this part, so let's do this. Okay, so I've actually noticed a mistake. I'm not sure if I taught you guys this mistake, but basically this doesn't line up quite correctly. This block that you have on the lower level here shouldn't be in line with this, it actually should be here. So what we need to do is actually just move everything basically back by one block. So we're going to actually have these slabs here, then cut that one back, then go 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2. Cut that back there. And that should have actually done it basically, and then you should be able to have this kind of slab on top of these ones here. So I'm going to do the same on the other side. I'm just going to make sure I've kind of got it right. So we've kind of got these two here, so we're going to take these ones out, and we're just going to move that block back, put in a slab here. You can also take out that slab. I don't know if I did that on the other side, so I didn't. Yeah, we'll take out that slab as well, and then move this one back. So you're just going to cut out these, cut out those, and take off that one. And then that is going to make a lot more sense. So really sorry about that, guys. I'm guessing it's because I counted this block as being in, or this block as being in line with this one when it was really that one. But hopefully that hasn't caused too much confusion. So now there's just 4 bits on this side bit here. But as long as this block here just goes 1, 1, 3, 1, 2. That's all you need underneath. It's underneath the wing anyway. It doesn't really matter too much. As it kind of gets hidden kind of in the entire wing. But after you've done that, what we're going to do is we're going to grab our slabs, and we're just going to have 2 here, then 1, 1, 1, then 2, 1, 1. Just like that. So you're basically just going on the outside, except for this kind of part here. You could, if you had one here, what you could do is actually take that out and actually put in another block. And I actually prefer that now. So I'm actually going to change it on all of my designs of them. So I'm just going to add in a block in this corner piece. And then we're just going to basically outline with these slabs like that. The only other bit you need to do now for this layer is where we've got this 5, 1, 5. We're going to put slabs on that as well. So we've got 5, 1, and 5 like this. We'll then do the same on the other side as well. So if you just grab your slabs yet again, so you go 5, 1, and another 5 like that. And that'll give us the kind of base of it. What we're going to do now is we're going to actually build this engine here. So we're going to build the first out of the 4 engines. So let's do this. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to do the actual engine. So what we need to do is where we kind of got this this first set of the 5 slabs that we got here, we're just going to add 3 blocks to this bit. So you got 1, 2, and 3. You're now going to go down. You're going to have an extra 3 blocks. So you got 1, 2, and 3. This is going to go back by 7 in total. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go around it in like a tube. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 again. And we're basically just going to leave a 1 block gap in between. So we're going to do this on all of the kind of 4 bits until we've got this kind of cross shape, which has got a hole in it like that. There's going to be a 1 block at the back here. And now we're going to have 2 blocks showing there. We can just fill this in like that. If we also grab a block of iron, throw that on the back part here and put a button on it, that'll do fine like that. Also, if we come to the front part here, just add 2 slabs just on this part like this. And currently it doesn't look very circular at all, so what you're going to do is you're going to grab your quartz stairs, and we're just going to have 5, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then 2 quartz slabs on it this way. So we're just going to do this in all of the faces, just making sure that it's upside down, or right side up, or whatever. Just like this, and 2 there, and then the same again on this part. Just like that, and then that looks a lot more engine-like. So now you've kind of got a couple of choices of what you want to do. You can either put in the black wool and then put in iron bar in front of it like this. Or what I like to do is I like to have a glowstone block and then have the iron bar. I always leave this block here free because it makes it look like it's got a lot more depth to it. But if you wanted to, you could always move this forward. I just don't think that looks as nice. So after you've done that, just make sure you copy it to the other side. And we'll get on to the next part of the wing. Okay, and now we're on to the next layer of the wing. So what we're going to do is we're just going to count across these. I'll tell you where to start on these, but we're just going to leave this one. So you're going to go 1, 1, 2, 1, and this block here on this kind of second one after we got this. So we got 1, 1, 2, 1, and then this one here. This one is where we actually start. And we're going to have 1, 2. So I'm going to do the exact same as I did before. I'm just going to do the outline. So we've got a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, and a 2. So you've got 3 sets of 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, like that. Now we're going to have 3 sets of 1. So you've got 1, 1, and a 1, just like that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to have a 4. So you're going to go 4 going the other way. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. So hopefully you guys can see that. So you've got the 3 sets of 1 there, and then you've got this 4 going back, just like that. Now you're going to have a 1 and a 2, like this, going across. Now connected onto this one, we're going to have 4 going back. So you've already got 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we've got 4 going across this way, like that. Now we're going to do the back, which will kind of connect it up to the next kind of bit. It is a very complex wing, but again, I'll kind of make sure guys can actually pause the video on this part, and also I'll go through it again, just kind of when we finished it. But connected onto this one here, we're actually going to have 3. So in total, we're going to have 3. So you've already got 1, 2, 3. So you're just going to add a couple of blocks. Then going towards the actual plane itself, and also in towards the wing, we're going to have another 3. So you've got 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to have 2 sets of 1. So you've got 1 and another 1, which will bring you on top. Now you've got 2 going the other way this time. So it's not going across. This is our normal kind of way. We've got this one going back, just like that. Now we're going to have a 1, 1. Now another 2 going back this way. Now 1, and then a 2 going back that way. Another 2 going back that way, and then this is going to be a 3. So you got 1, 2, 3, and it should connect up with that block there, and that will count it as that. So I'm just going to go over to the top. And it's kind of very, very difficult for you guys to see, but if you can, pause it, screenshot it, whatever you need to do on this part. And now what I'll do is I'll just kind of count through with you guys like I did before. So I'm just going to find something I can get rid of. Another brick fence. So we're going to have 1, 2, 1, 2, which will bring us on top of this kind of part here. Then we're going to have a 1, 2, so there's 3 sets of those. So you've got 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 3 sets of 1, 1, 1, 1. 4 going this way. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks. Then a 1, 2 going across this way. Then connected onto that, you're actually going to have a total of 4 going backwards. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Then connected onto that one, you're going to have 3, and then this is going to start working its way backwards. So then you've got another 3, a 1, 1, 2 going the other way, then a 1, 1, then another 2 going the other way, then a 1, then another 2 going the other way, then a 2, and then a 3, which will connect up with that part there. So again, I advise building it on the other side as well first, and then filling it in. We'll put in the slabs, and then we'll put on the last engine. We've only got a little bit more to do kind of on this main wing. It is very complex though, which is why I'm trying to take as much time and as kind of possible to make sure you guys get it right. So let's do this. Okay, and then once you've filled in the wings, we're just going to put on a couple of the slabs. We're just going to do the ones on the inside of the wing first. So we're just going to have, literally like we did last time, we're just going to basically outline with our slabs just like this. So it's stupidly easy, just to make it look a little bit more smoother. Just like this, grabbing them and putting them on, and like that. So now what we'll do is we'll do the other slabs and put on the last engines. Okay, and now we'll get started on the last kind of engine. So what we're going to do first here is we're going to add 5 blocks. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to go down and have 3. So we've got 1, 2, and 3, kind of like we did before. Before we actually do that kind of part, we're just going to put in the slabs. It's just best to get this part done. So we're just going to have 4 here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1 in this part, and there's going to be 6 on the outside of this entire bit. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now that we've done that, what we can do is, just like we did before, it's going to be built in exactly the same way. So we're going to bring this one back by 7. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And again, just kind of create this tube, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the bottom part again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. We're going to have 1 block here, and then 2 here. Just fill that one in there. Put your block of iron on the back, put your button on, and then just like we did before, 2 slabs on this top part here, then 5 stairs. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 2 slabs on these kind of back bits here. Same on the other side as well. Like that. And then whatever style you've kind of decided to do on the inside part, just throw that in there and put your iron bars on. And that's it for that part. So then just copy it to the other side. If you did get stuck on this one, just watch back this one's video, because, or not video, or part of the actual video, as then you won't get stuck on that bit there. Okay, and now on to the next layer for the actual wings themselves. So we've still got, I think, another 2 layers. Yeah, 2 more layers, and also the the winglets. Just to do on this, and as I said, there is quite a lot. I think there's 5 layers going up, so it is quite complex. So let's do the next one anyway. So where we've got this kind of engine here, we've got these 3 sets of 1, and we're actually going to start right on the last one, going towards the outside of the plane. So we've got this 1, 1, and then this one is where we're just going to place down a block, and this is going to go over by 2. And yeah, again, we're just going to do the outline. So we've got 2 going across here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to have 3 sets of 1. So you've got 1, 1, and 1, just like that. Now we're going to have a 2, and another set of 2. Now we're going to have a 4 going backwards. So you've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this one isn't joined on or anything like that. It's just normal. Now we're going to have a 3 going backwards, so you're going to go out and then go 3, so you got 1, 2, and 3. Now connected onto the back of this one, we're just going to add an extra block, and we're going to start making our way back in again. So we've already got this 2 going here, now we're going to have a 1. Now we're going to have a 3, so you got 1, 2, and 3. We can place the blocks right, and now you're going to have a 1. Now a 2 going the other way like this, now a 1. Now a 2 going the other way, and then you have a 4, 1, 2, 3, and the 4th block should already be placed down like that. So do the same on the other side again, and then fill it in. We'll put on the slabs. Okay, and then for the slabs, what you need to do is go right to the edge. We're just going to have 3 blocks here, or not 3 blocks, 3 slabs here, and then 3 slabs here as well. Then if we come to the bit that's actually onto the actual wing, we're just going to do exactly the same, and just put a slab kind of outlining it like that. So then do the same on the other side, and we'll get on to the next bit. Okay, and I'm just going to go through and count all of these ones just to make sure you guys have actually got them. So you got a 2 going this way, then a 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Obviously you'll have your slabs on the side of these. I'm just going to count the 4 blocks. They got a 3 going this way. Then connected on the back, you got this 2, a 1, 3, 1, a 2 going this way. If I've just found it, there you go, 2 going that way, then a 1, then a 2 going that way, and then a 4, which will connect it up. So let's get on to the next bit. Okay, and for the next bit, where we put in these 3 slabs earlier, what we're going to do is going to go to the next block, and we're just going to have 1 here, then a 1, now you're going to have, if I can place the blocks right, a 2 going across this way, now we're going to have a 2 going the other way, so you get that kind of weird bit like that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to have a 3 going across this way, so you got 1, 2, and 3. And now a 5 going the other way. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. And then from the back part here, you're going to leave 2 of these. Then this is where you're going to have a 1. And now what you're going to do is you're going to have a 5. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then you have a 2 going the other way. So you got 2 going this way. Another 2 going the other way. And then you have 3. So you got 1, 2, and 3, which will just connect into this part here. So I'll just give you a kind of shot of that from the top, and I'll again just count it. I think I kind of forgot on the last layer, but I just kind of went over it quickly at the end. So you've got 2, 1, 2, 2 going the other way, then you got a 3, then a 5 going the other way, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 going back. Leave 2 of these ones being shown here, then you got a 1, then a 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 2 going the other way, 2 going the other way, then a 3, and it will kind of connect up there. Grab your wool again and just fill this in. And then with the slabs again, we just need to put them on the kind of outside and outline it. So you've got these here, and then you just got 1 on the front as well. You could probably actually just cut this out, change it to something like that, possibly. It's up to you. I'm going to do that because why not? Then what you need to do is we're going to just do the winglets. So leave 2 of these blocks here. We're just going to wrap a stair around going forwards, like this, upside down. Then we're just going to wrap them backwards. And there's going to be 3 of them in total, so it just overhangs by 1. And then the last 2, you're just going to put a couple of stairs on like that to kind of make the raised winglets, but that is it for the wings. So they are pretty complex. They're the most difficult part of the build. They were an absolutely complete nightmare to actually build the first time, but hopefully you guys haven't got stuck. So yeah, I'm just copy it onto the other side. We can pretty much finish off this plane, so let's do it. Okay, and now for layer number 10, what we need to do is we come to the front part here and we come back by 1 block. Now what we're going to do is going to have another 1, and then we got 3, so you got 1, 2, and 3. This now is going to be pretty much just on top. And now after this door, what you're going to do is you're just going to have these blocks, and they're going to be back by 1 here. So they're just going to basically be in line with this long run here, as the kind of plane is actually starting to curve in a bit now. So if you just bring this all the way back until you hit into the kind of last door, just like that. And then after the door, you're just going to have 3 blocks like this. Then we're going to go in and we're going to have a 7. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now we're going to go in and have an 8. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then just a 1 in the end. Do the same on the other side and we'll put on the slabs. Okay, and now for the slabs on this kind of this layer. So what you need to do on the front here, we're just going to have 1 here, and then 1 here. So when we do the same on the other side, I want to have this. And while I was actually looking at the build, I've decided to kind of change it a little bit. Where we had this block before, we're going to switch that one out for a stair. I think that looks a little bit better, a bit smoother. So you guys can do that, or if you wanted to, keeping that full block, it's really up to you. I don't mind. Or, of course, you could go across the front, but I'm kind of going to go with the stair like that. Now if we just fly all the way down right to the back here, we're just going to have 1 slab in here, and then 2 on the side part here like this. So we've just got 2 here, and 1 there like that. And now we'll just put in the windows for this layer. So from this door to this door on this really long run, all we need to do is just go every other kind of block. We're going to switch out for glass. So it's pretty easy. And we'll just basically keep it in the same pattern as we did before. So just make your way all the way down here. I'll just show you how to do it on one side and then actually skip the other. So then we get it to there. So yeah, it should figure itself out perfectly. Then kind of on the back part here, we're just going to leave 1 block, go to this one here. Then we're going to pretend like this block was going to be glass, and then move to the next, and we're just going to have these 2 at the back can become glass blocks like that. It's just that because we got the slab in here, we can't really put in one behind. I mean, you could put one in behind if you wanted to. I just decided to put in a full block. But after you've done that, we will get on to the next layer. Okay, and now we're on to layer number 11. So we're going to go to the front again. And counting this block, we're just going to go back by 3. So you've already got this 1, 2, 3, and it doesn't matter if you got it as a stair or a full block. 1, 2, 3 back here. Then this is where your first kind of block goes. So we're just going to go back by 1. So we're just showing these 3. Now we've got 1. Then we're going to have 2. And now we're going to have an 8. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. It will all be covered up a bit later on, so don't worry about that. Now what we're going to do is going to have these on top. And it's actually going to be too short of kind of where the door is, so I'll just show you exactly where I mean. Can we bring this back? So there you go, 2 blocks short. So you should have these 2 blocks showing right here like that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go in, without falling down, to here, and then we're going to have a 10. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Then you're going to go in and you're going to have a 7. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then just a 2 right here like that. These 2 here, we can just literally put 2 blocks in there. So then do the same on the other side. We'll put on the slabs. I think we've only got about 1 layer or so left. We are really close to finishing off this build, so well done, guys. Okay, and now we're on to the slabs for layer number 11. So if we come to the front, we've got this kind of bit here. We're just going to do, on the front of this block here, we've got a 1. They're going to have a 1. We're going to have 2 slabs here. Now on this part here, we've got 4. So you got 1, 2, 3, and 4, which just covers up that kind of door there. There is a couple of blocks here. If I just quickly do it on the same on the other side as well for this kind of part here, we've got these 2 blocks here which we can just put in full blocks like that. I'm just going to put in my 4 before I forget. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now if we fly to the back here, we just need to cover up where this door is. So we're going to have 5 slabs. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which will also cover up that window, so it all kind of works in quite nicely. Then what we're going to do is just have 1 slab here which will cover up that window. We have 1 slab here and 1 right at the back like that. So then do the same on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 like that. And then we will get on to the kind of roof part of this. We're actually already up there, so that's quite good. So we've just got this roof, and then the actual back kind of fin part, and we're done. Okay, so we're on to layer number 12, which is the roof. So we are so close to finishing off this build. So counting this block here, we're going to go back by 6. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then just like we did before, we're just going to go up onto this part. This block, we are literally just going to just grab and just pull all the way pretty much back, and it's just one block short of the actual last layer that's underneath it, and it'll take you a while to get there as it is a massive plane. So here we go, keep on going, and one block short, so you've got this one block here, then you've got the next one there. Now what we're going to do is, if we fly all the way to the front again, we're just going to leave this one block, go to the side here, pull this one all the way back as well. So again, it might take a little while to go back. So bring this one back, bring this one back. And what we're going to do is we're going to have 6 of these showing. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we've got these ones just covered up like that. Then do the same on the other side as well. Let's just bring this one all the way back. Like this, or all the way to the front, right to here. Now what we're going to do is, if we just fill in these 3 blocks here, front, grab our slabs, and I'll show you how to do it on one side. Just going to have one here, then we're going to have slabs on this side part like this. Pull these slabs pretty much over this belt, so it's just covering up that gap as well. It makes the roof a little bit bigger, but doesn't make it look really, really chunky, which is kind of what we want to do. We kind of want to make it look properly, and when we have this 5 here, this is where we actually stop, like that. Go to this back part here, we're just going to have 2 slabs in here, and that's pretty much it. 2 slabs in here. Do the same kind of slab part on the other side. We've got the tail kind of fin part to do, and then after that, all I'm going to do is just show you a couple of ideas again and kind of recap you guys, as I did do a little bit at the beginning of this tutorial, but I'll go through the kind of interior ideas. I'll show you another one of my planes. I haven't done one for the Airbus yet. It's quite big, it would take me quite a while, so I just haven't got around to it, but I pushed this tutorial forward for you guys. So let's do this. Okay, and now we're on to the tail piece. So if we come to the back here, where we've got this kind of block that we just did, this 6 that we have here, what we're going to do is just going to come out like this and go up by 3. So you got 1, 2, and then 3. Then we're going to go out and kind of back here diagonally like this, then go have a 2. Do the same again, and we are going to have a 3, so you got 1, 2, and 3, and then do the same again, and we're going to have a 5, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then add an extra block onto this one, and then all we're going to do is we're basically going to create a couple of steps going back of this part, like this, so we can keep on just basically stepping out by 1, just dragging this layer. This was the kind of easiest way I could figure out of doing it. So it is a pretty big fin piece as well, so it might take a little bit of a while to get down to the bottom, so just keep on dragging these, and what we're going to do for the time being is just kind of make some rough steps. There we go, like that. We can fill in this part and make this entirely solid, and then just like we just did with the stair there, I'm just going to grab the stairs and bring them all the way down from this here, just adding them on to make it look a little bit smoother, and then just finish off 1 slab just like that. So then you can see that kind of tail piece, and you can see the entire plane. So you guys have actually completed the exterior of the plane. If you guys are doing your own livery, then of course you can probably do it at this point. What I'll do now is I will go through a couple of ideas to give you guys for doing the interior type things, where to actually put your floors in, all that kind of stuff. So let's do it. Okay, so for a couple of ideas to get kind of on the interior side of the plane, so like we did before, I was saying that this kind of bottom part is mostly kind of empty. What you can actually do with this, especially with the bigger undercarriage parts, I think probably, can we cut through these parts? No, we can't cut through these parts. I'm just going to try and find a nice place we can actually do it on this. Like here, for example, we can make it look like there's actually a storage compartment. If we take out a couple of these chunks, use the kind of slabs that we've got, the actual quartz slabs here, we can actually create a kind of compartment in here, put in a couple of like blocks or something like that. You probably want to miss out a couple of blocks, but you can basically use parts of the plane. Same with all of the commercial planes that I do. There's usually enough space to actually do it, so I might actually want to cut out like this much and make a kind of bigger space. Even cut down here, maybe even push this down further so it's even bigger. And you can see it's not interfering with the floor as well because we've got enough space for it, which is kind of what you want. So here we go. Just going to try this one out. So there we go. That might look a little bit better, but then you've got this kind of compartment. You can put in a couple of blocks of stuff using different pieces of wool, using buttons and things like that, just for like luggage. And that actually will kind of, if you're using it in an airport, will kind of give you an extra kind of idea for things like that. If we now go on to the interior, I will kind of show you where I've put the floors. So you can already see absolutely huge interior, but I'll just go through a couple of the ideas. So what I did for the floor is I went up by 3 blocks, and then you have the floor going across on this section like this. So if I just build the floor in here like that, so that's what you're going to have. The problem with this is the other planes that I've done, I've actually had 4 blocks. And what that allows you to do is actually use up an entire kind of layer basically for putting in glowstone for your lighting. Unfortunately with this one, because it is a double decker and it is a really big double decker, not like the kind of Boeing 747, which is also a massive plane. It's kind of got a lot of kind of space, so I'm just going to build a small kind of bit here, and I'll show you what to do where you can actually hide lighting and still get the same effect without kind of losing your space. So for example, what I do with the kind of seating, I always put my seats on these parts where the window is, so you've actually got these kind of window seats, and make these aisles. Of course you could, if you want to, make, you know, just 3 separate seats like this. If you wanted to kind of simulate 3 aisles, when you get to this kind of bigger section that you've got at the back, you can kind of do that quite nicely in a way. You can get like just 1 seat in the middle, and you can get these 2 on the side, or you can have just 1 on the side and then those ones like that. You know, you can mess around with a couple different styles for getting it, or you can just have 1 massive, well, not really massive aisle, but 1 aisle going down the middle. Completely up to you. Or even 3 aisles, I don't know. You know, you guys will be able to come up with something, but if you do the same as well, and it will line up with this plane where I've put in the windows over like these, for example, if you have them like that, you can then use where you've got the seat here, that's where you can hide your lighting. And you can see where that's actually worked out. So because I've actually basically moved over this glass block, if you have a look, probably from the outside, it's probably going to be better to show you exactly what I mean. So where you've got a window here, it's not lined up perfectly in line, and it's actually off by 1. Not only does that make it look interesting and more interesting on the outside, but it also means that when you do move your seats back, these aren't going to be directly above the seats, they're going to be in the gap instead. So you can literally just come around and cut out these kind of blocks and still put in your lighting really easily. And you might want to plan, as you can see the actual light there, so these will just be covered up like this. So you might want to plan out both of the floors with the lighting in mind. So also another idea for the actual interior part of it. What I usually use for the hand luggage kind of section is actually to, for example, use the stairs and also the slabs of course, and kind of bring these across like this, and then kind of tie them up like that, and it kind of gives you these kind of cabin type bits. Another thing you can do is you can just use full blocks of quartz, for example, put a button on. That's one idea. If I just grab some more blocks, for example, the item frames, which are really useful. You can also put these kind of things on the item frames and then use trapdoors to make it look like you've got some cabinets. That also works. So there's quite a lot of kind of ideas that you can actually use for it. Another thing you can do with the floor, if you want it to feel kind of a bit bigger, so you've already got these kind of these blocks here. Again, if you want to change the lighting, you could actually go down to 2 blocks here, have the lighting in that, and actually use the slabs going around it. So you've got these kind of lighting blocks like this. I don't like the look of it. I prefer to have completely have 3 blocks. But another thing you can do, cut out this actual floor and just put slabs in as the floor. So you guys that are on the console versions, as soon as you get the update, you're going to be able to do this quite easily. And it won't make it look any different, but if I just cut out a couple of them, you can see how much bigger it makes it look and feel. You do get the kind of weird bit with the lighting, but again, you can hide those in there, and you can even do something. If I grab some stairs, I don't think I've got any on me anymore. Do something to make these look a little bit interesting as well. Maybe cut out this and have stairs. Maybe not have them every one then. That won't really work. And just have your stairs kind of going around like that. Maybe to make it look a little bit interesting. I don't really know. It's got weird lighting glitch in the minute because of all these normal blocks mixed in. But I'm sure you guys can kind of come up with some sort of idea for that part. I would probably also, this kind of section that you've got at the front, you could, you know, put in slabs on those parts, maybe to make it look a little bit bigger. As for the lighting on this top layer, this is where I kind of couldn't figure out what to do. And I'm still kind of stuck on what to do. I guess you could use torches on the side parts here. Another thing you can do is on this kind of top part is actually just add this kind of slab going across there and bring that all the way back into the back part there. You could do that, and then with having that slab there, if I just show you, actually I don't know why I took those away. If you just have the slab going over the top here, of course, then you can put in your lighting, every other one or whatever it is, you know, wherever you've decided to put them in, you know, like that, and have it hidden. But it depends what you kind of want to do with that. But hopefully that's given you a couple of ideas. If you kind of want more ideas, most of my commercial planes, except for this one actually, all of them have so far had pretty much full interiors. It's just that this one's pretty big. It's kind of difficult. I haven't actually been on an Airbus A380, so I don't know what it really looks like on the interior. And whenever you see pictures of the interiors of them, you can't really get a feel for where everything is in relation to the rest of the plane. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed this tutorial on how to build an Airbus A380. If you have, make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. If you use it on a server, make sure that you credit me. But yeah, hopefully you guys have enjoyed the tutorial. If you have, comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.